Did you know that Pokemon Legends ZA was actually missing some very well-needed Mega Evolutions? Well, it is absolutely true, girl, because my uncle's cousin's dog, yep, that's right, that works at Game Freak told me himself that these Megas were supposed to be in the game. So today we're going to be talking about 15 Pokemon. I don't know why I put up these hands as if this is 15. I don't have 15 fingers. 15 plus one more hand. 15 Mega Evolutions that I believe honestly could have been in Pokemon Legends ZA. What's up, everybody? My name is NintenDomenic, and if you are unfamiliar with my work, you may recognize me as that Italian homosexual that screams about Pokemon on the internet. I'm known for my ranting and just elongated sentences that never come with a period about one specific subject. That's mostly what my videos are. These are honestly just 15 Pokemon that I really want to see Mega Evolutions for, whether I think that they just have potential that I feel like hasn't been totally seen yet, or they just really need some help in the stat department. There's a ton of reasons for a Pokemon to get a new Mega Evolution, and I think that any of these Pokemon mentioned in this video today could have gotten a Mega in ZA, and who knows, maybe one day they will if we ever bring Megas back again for a third time. You know what they say, girl, sometimes third time's the charm.
Illusion. Convince yourself.
I'm really excited to talk about this video today because I feel like there are a ton of Pokemon out there that could use some help and assistance, and I'm really happy with the Megas that we did get in Pokemon Legends ZA, but I mean, Megas are cool. We could always do with some more. Even if we just got a ton, I want more, okay? I'm greedy. I know what I want, and I want it now.
Yup.
I'm going full Veruca Salt today. Daddy, I want more. I want more Megas. So starting off with our first Pokemon that I want to talk about, I would like to see a Mega Ledian. Ledian is a Pokemon that I think is actually a really cute design. I adore it. I was happy to see it in the Winds and Waves trailer and that it's going to be coming back. I think that this Pokemon is honestly more fun than people give it credit for. And a lot of that is because its stats are trash.
Mama, this is garbage.
Oh.
Right here.
But I think that a Mega Evolution for Ledian could do a lot of work. I mean, this thing, I see it being a full-blown superhero with all of its punches, add more arms, add bigger fists, add like more of a superhero costume, add a cape, girl, just more stars. Like, I see so much potential for Ledian becoming this like beautiful, glamorous superhero design, and I want the best for it. I can absolutely see it becoming bug fighting type. I don't know, girl, maybe this is a fantasy because Ledian is not at the forefront of any Pokemon fans' minds, and if it is, girl, I trust your taste level because you have some very interesting choices, and I love it. I live, girl. Strangely enough, there is a Mega Evolution that I would like to see later on the list that I feel like would have a very similar design concept to Mega Ledian, but we'll get there when we get there. Next up is a Pokemon that has been forgotten about generation after generation. This Pokemon has not received any love, any appreciation, literally anything. There are times that I don't even remember that this Pokemon exists, and every time I do remember it exists, it's because of how forgettable it is. I would like to see a Mega Dugong. Dugong has been around for a very long time. They have had a lot of time, and honestly, I'm going to say the same thing with any Generation 1 Pokemon that I ever talk about ever getting a new form of anything, and that they have been around for so long. There has been ample time and ample opportunity to give this Pokemon something, and we just haven't. And I think it's kind of insane for a Pokemon as kind of bland and a little bit boring as Dugong. It's literally just a white seal.
Her, slay her, sitting on that tree, hunty.
To be given something that would be, I don't know, like glamorous and gorgeous. Like, I can already see it in my mind. It would keep the water ice typing. I just would like it to be a little bit more flowy, maybe adding some more frills, maybe adding pearls, iridescence, a giant mermaid tail. I don't know, some aurora like borealis things going all around his body. Like, something. Dugong needs like anything. Literally add anything to this freaking design and I would probably be happy about it. I always think about the fact in the Pokemon anime that the Pokemon that is on the front of Misty's gym is Dugong, and it's not even really relevant whatsoever. I mean, the fact that it could look like a mermaid is a great idea for a potential Mega Evolution to make it even more mermaid-like. I know we have Primarina, but I need Dugong to get something. I need Dugong to be given her tens and be given her flowers that she needs to be gorgeous. Next up is a Pokemon that I genuinely cannot believe with how much love its pre-evolution gets, we have not even talked about. And that Pokemon is Golduck. Mega Golduck just seems like such an obvious choice that it really makes me wonder, what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? Psyduck is beloved. People freaking love Psyduck. The people forget and don't like Golduck so much that we just added Psyduck as a Pokemon into Pokemon Unite as opposed to Golduck. Golduck needs something, okay? Like, we have a full idea of what we could already do. It is fully gonna become a water psychic type. I don't know why it already isn't. We have a giant gemstone on our forehead that seems to be emitting psychic energy constantly to the point where it's giving us headaches, and yet we don't have the psychic typing.
Clock that.
I don't know what that's about. Did Kanto already have, you know, the Slowpoke evolution line, the Staryu evolution line, which become water psychic types? Yes, I get it. We would have had a lot of water psychic. However, you're now telling me that this Pokemon also has psychic and we just chose not to do it. Let's make it make sense, Pokemon. That's all I'm asking. I would like to see the head be the main focal point for a Mega Golduck. I think more gemstones. Make a huge, like, crown on its head. And have you ever seen those photos of the ducks when they have, like, the giant pompadours, you know, all Quaxley and stuff on their head? Like, make it kind of like that. Golduck is a duck, and make some giant headpiece on its head centering around the psychic gemstone. I can see it now. I think it's the most clear design, and I really don't know why we haven't touched Golduck ever since. Next up, we're talking about yet another freaking Gen 1 water-type Pokemon that never really got any love or attention. I don't know why there's so many of them. I don't understand what happened there. But next up, we're going to be talking about how I would like to see a Mega Sea King. And funnily enough, this is yet another Pokemon to where Misty in the anime used its pre-evolution. We all saw Misty using Goldeen and Psyduck, and so in our minds, we're constantly thinking about those Pokemon instead of their evolutions, which is such a disservice, but like, good because it was the anime and it's from our childhood. There's so much nostalgia and memories there. So we just don't really think about Golduck. We don't really think about Sea King. But with Mega Sea King, I feel there is just as much potential as there is with Mega Dugong, and I actually would want a lot of the same stuff that I would want from Dugong from Sea King. I just want, like, gorgeous. I want glamour. I want more iridescence. I want more frilly fins and just stuff going around the body. I would love a massive, I'm talking like huge horn on its head. Make it a unicorn horn. I don't care. Make it like just this gargantuan, like, camp levels of gigantic horn on its head. I don't care, girl. Make it happen. I want to see it. And yes, I know you're talking like, oh, Sea King is just a goldfish. Who cares? But I mean, Chi-Yu is also a goldfish, and we all love Chi-Yu. Goldfish are great. They're the snack that smiles back. Please don't eat your goldfish. I would love to see Sea King get maybe a water fairy typing and just add more of the glamorous elements that Mega Dugong would have. I think they'd be very similar. So if I had to pick one or the other, I probably would pick a Mega Dugong, but I think that Sea King has just as much potential. Next is a Pokemon that I am a massive fan of. This Pokemon is cute, it's adorable, I've used it on several a playthrough team, and that Pokemon is Lantern. Lantern is a fantastic Pokemon with or without a Mega, okay? It is a water electric type, which is phenomenal. Love it. It's cute to boot. It is such a great design. I am a huge fan.
She's got a point. She's an icon. She's a legend, and she is the moment.
But what I love is everything that this design could be if we make it a Mega. Mega Lantern, I just imagine, kind of similarly like I was saying with Mega Sea King, I want just like its lantern on its head to be huge. I want it to be a huge light on its head, and maybe like the body looks kind of small in comparison. Like I can see it now, like the angle of like the light coming down, and then maybe the body being on the side with a huge light in front of it. Or make it like a deep sea anglerfish, something scary, like straight out of Finding Nemo. Make the body more of a dark blue coloring, and to keep with the electric theme, maybe make its eyes glowing in the dark and have the giant, like I said, electric headpiece on it. And I think you have a great Pokemon right there. It would be something so out of the box for Lantern, especially for a Pokemon that is as friendly looking as Lantern is, and to make it kind of a little more deep sea scary. I would be really interested to see it. Speaking of Pokemon that I think would come off as very scary if they were to get a new Mega design, let's talk about Mega Shiftry. Shiftry is a Pokemon that I think is highly underrated. It is a Pokemon that I feel like a lot of people don't use. A lot of people don't really talk about Shiftry, and I don't know why, because it's actually a really cool Pokemon. It's got this like giant flowing mane of white hair. It's got like this really long Tengu nose, and it's got like the leaf fans for hands. It's really cool. I enjoy it a lot. I think if it were to Mega Evolve, I would really like to see Shiftry kind of just take everything that already is and just make it even creepier and even larger in scale. I'd like to see like crazy hair in the back, like its hair just going all over the place, kind of like Grimmsnarl-esque, like hair all over. I want to see it maybe like floating in the air because it has the leaf fans on its hands and it can produce the cyclones and the wind from it. So maybe like a floating kind of more Tengu-like, more scary, more creepy kind of Shiftry. I would keep it a grass dark type. I think that that is actually kind of the perfect typing for it, and I don't know what else I would give it, so still grass dark typing. I don't know, I think Shiftry is a really underrated Pokemon, and I think something like this would just bring a lot more attention to it. Next up, we have another Generation 2 Pokemon, and this is a Pokemon that I'm actually a very large fan of as well. Both of these Gen 2 Pokemon I love very deeply, and so I would absolutely love even more to see a Mega for them and to see them get that love. I'm talking about wanting to see a Mega Granbull. Granbull to me is a very cool Pokemon. I love the idea behind Granbull and Snubbull. I love that it is like so ugly, it's cute type of vibes, because there are so many dogs in our actual world that we look at and we're like, you are so ugly looking, that it whirls back around to being cute again.
Where?
It did already get the addition of the fairy typing when it originally was normal typing, so it has gotten a little bit of love and attention in the fairy typing, but I think it would be really cool if we got even more love for Granbull if we added on the ground typing as well to make it our first fairy ground type Pokemon. I think that would be really cool. It would be fitting because it is a bit of an uglier dog. I can see it getting down in the dirt and down in the mud, and what I think would also be really cool for a Mega Granbull design, as well as maybe being on all fours, having an even larger jaw on its face, making it look maybe a little bit scarier, a little bit uglier. But also, I think it would be a really cute idea to take some of the pink from Snubbull and the purple from Granbull and combining them and making it kind of this like mix of pink and purple for Mega Granbull. I don't know, I feel like anybody who has ever had a dog in their lifetime rolling around in the mud, you can envision probably what I'm talking about with this design. Next up, I think is probably my favorite Mega that I have on my own personal list, my favorite Mega that I'm going to be talking about today that I would like to see, and that is Mega Cacturn. I love Cacturn. I think Cacturn is a phenomenal Pokemon, yet another grass dark type from Hoenn. This is a great Pokemon. I always think about in the anime Harley with his Cacturn, and it's just such a scary, creepy Pokemon, and I live for the horror. You wouldn't think with the way that I talk and the way that I act, but I am a horror girl. I am the final girl. I am watching all of these horror movies, the slasher films. I love it. Give me all of them. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. So something like Cacturn, I feel like has so much potential to be even spookier and even creepier with its Mega. I see all of its thicker features maybe slimming out, maybe getting a little bit taller. I would like to see the hat maybe turn to the side and cover one of its eyes in like a little creepy way. I'd like to see all the spikes that it has on its body because, you know, it's a cactus. Maybe turn black, and so it's a mixture of the green and the black coloring on it. Maybe you could even make the spikes like larger on its body and make the spikes a little bit longer than they normally are on Cacturn. There's just so many things that you could do with this, and I want to make Mega Cacturn something that you would be afraid to see in the middle of the night if you looked out in your cornfield. I have no idea what I'm talking about because I do not have a cornfield to look out to and envision Mega Cacturn hanging out there, but if you do have a cornfield, that's great. Look out your window right now and envision if there's a Mega Cacturn out there, how spooked and how creeped out you would be. That's what I'm going for. Moving right on along to Generation 4, I only picked one Pokemon from all of Generation 4 that I would like to see a Mega for on this list, and it is a Pokemon that does have some correlation to a new Mega that we did get in Legend ZA, with that being Mega Darkrai. So of course, I'm going to be talking about Mega Cresselia. I think with giving Darkrai such a prominent Mega, it would only make sense to give Cresselia a Mega evolution at some point because I just see them as two halves of the same thing. Now, when I think about Cresselia and all of its prominent features, I think about all the rings and all the moon kind of stuff going on with its body, all the gorgeousness, the beautifulness. So I started thinking about that its head head is kind of like a half a moon, and then the rest of its body, all these rings around it, are also kind of half moons. So what if everything on its body became the full moon? Its head is a full moon, all these rings are kind of revolving around it. I don't know if there's a toy or like what the name of it is, but like, have y'all ever seen the thing that has like all the rings going around it and it's just like going around and around, and it's all these different rings combining? That's what I envision for a Mega Cresselia. It's just this like constantly moving thing. I think that this Pokemon has a lot of potential to be one of the most beautiful looking Megas and one of the greatest models. For Mega Cresselia, I just want something that Usagi Tsukino herself would look at and say Moon Prism Power, and there it is. Boom, Mega Cresselia. That's what I'm looking for here. We're moving on to Generation 5, my personal favorite Pokemon generation, and y'all knew I had to include this Pokemon. I wasn't gonna make this video and not talk about it, and you already know what's coming. I gotta talk about Mega Zebstrika. Zebstrika's a fantastic Pokemon, okay? I'm never gonna apologize for the way that I feel about Zebstrika. I love Zebstrika. I even like got the black and white coloring on this shirt going on, so y'all knew I was talking about Zebstrika today. This is a Pokemon that I really wish was just better. I really wish stat-wise it was better, and I think a Mega might be the best way to go about doing that. And the interesting thing about Zebstrika is that I don't think its Mega design would be insane. I think it would just be kind of everything we already know about Zebstrika and just making the features larger. Maybe adding more lightning bolts, maybe adding more hair, maybe changing up the coloring. But what I would like to do to see some difference in Mega Zebstrika is I would like to make it an electric and fire type. We don't get a lot of electric and fire types, and so I think it'd be really cool to give this really interesting typing to Mega Zebstrika. I mean, Zebstrika, oddly enough, gets Flame Charge, which I still don't get to this day why it gets Flame Charge. If you know, let me know down in the comment section below why this zebra is getting Flame Charge. I don't understand. Maybe it's something I'm missing. Maybe I don't get it. Maybe I'm the problem. But with the electric fire typing, I would love to see its hooves maybe having some like flames coming up, kind of like Rapidash a little bit. Just mixing the electricity in with the fire, I feel like would be such a cool design. It would absolutely deserve a chef's kiss from me. I'd be really interested to see them combine those two elements together, because girl, electric fire is such a cool typing, and the only thing we have to show for it is a microwave. And I'm gonna need more than just a little microwave. The next Generation 5 Pokemon that I would like to see a Mega for is a Pokemon that I feel like doesn't really get talked about and is on the forgettable side. I'm talking about Mega Druddigon. Druddigon is a Pokemon that I feel like is just not that relevant.
To say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street, I wouldn't know a thing.
Lots of people don't really talk about Druddigon. It's not really a big thing. It's a dragon that looks like a dragon. It's not the strongest. It's not the most interesting to look at, and so it's just kind of there. Until today, I would like to change that for you, Druddigon. I would love to see a design for Mega Druddigon, giving it armor. I would love to see all these rough and tough scales and all these jagged parts of its body turning even tougher. So I would like to make it into a dragon rock or a dragon and steel type. I know we got a lot of dragon and steel, but I just envision it with this really tough skin exterior. Can keep the ability rough skin. I just think that this Pokemon, it would be great to just make it look even meaner and even rougher than it already does. You could make the head larger. You could take its wings on the back that are, you know, kind of serving absolutely no purpose at this moment, wrap them around, make it kind of like an armor piece on the front, make some giant claws, more jagged edges on its body. Like, I just see it looking rougher, and that's what I would like to see for a Mega Druddigon design. And I think it would do really well and give a much needed upgrade to a Pokemon that I feel like is pretty non-existent in people's minds otherwise. Next up for my one Generation 6 Pokemon that I do have on this list is a Generation 6 Pokemon that I'm kind of shocked they didn't touch in Legends CA. Not even just for Megas, just in general. Like, I can't believe that we didn't really do anything with this Pokemon in Legends CA. And that Pokemon is Go-Goat. I mean, Go-Goat and Skiddo, you're just riding them around the entirety of X and Y, and so why not in Legends ZA? Why are we just pretending that we never did that? And then also, Go-Goat being such a prominent Kalos Pokemon, I feel, and then not getting a Mega Evolution, it just seemed a little odd to me. Do I think the design for Mega Go-Goat would be anything crazy crazy. No, I think it would stay pure grass typing. I think it would just have larger shrubs and hedges and flora all over its body, maybe larger horns, maybe a built-in saddle on its back, just looking even grander, more like a steed. I still think that it is a mega that should exist, and I almost can't believe that it doesn't. So am I including Go-Go on this list because it's something that I need to see, like some of the others that I mentioned? No.
No.
I'm kind of including Go-Go on this list because I genuinely cannot believe that it doesn't exist and that it was not in Legend ZA. Like, I almost can't fathom why they didn't. Maybe they just weren't that interested in the design. Maybe they just didn't think they could do anything with it. I don't know. Go-Go, I am so sorry for all of the times that you were carrying these Colossian people on your back and they did not even get a mega for you. Girl, I'm so sorry. You deserve so much better than that. Justice for Go-Go. Okay, come on. Go-Go deserves better. Next to Mega Cacturn, I believe this next Pokemon on our list from Generation 7 might also be one of my favorite new Mega Evolutions I mentioned in today's video. I would be talking about Mega Mimikyu. Now, it is no shock, it is no surprise. Everybody loves Mimikyu. Mimikyu is great. It's a fantastic Pokemon. I mean, Ghost Fairy typing. On top of being adorable. On top of being just a really good Pokemon with a fantastic ability that is so helpful in battle. This Pokemon is just great. Point blank, period. But how do you make something that is already this great even greater? You make it a threat to your life.
Death to all of them.
I think that the perfect thing to do for Mega Mimikyu would be to quite literally rip the mask off, Scooby-Doo style, and fully just take this piece off, and all you see is the real beast and monster that Mimikyu is underneath. We see Mimikyu in its normal Ghost Fairy form as a very adorable Pokemon that wants love and wants appreciation and wants all the acclaim that Pikachu has, and that's why it dresses up like Pikachu. I think in its Mega form, we might get something a little different. Maybe Mega Mimikyu gets corrupted by anger and is blinded by its rage that it feels for not getting as much love and acclaim as Pikachu. So it rips off its disguise and all you see is the underneath creepiness, and you kind of see a dangling Mimikyu costume on the side, whether it's like a cape, a puppet hand, some type of like the Mimikyu cloth is in the background as a part of its body, and the main underneath part of its body is just scary as all hell. I would love to see this design. I would absolutely love to see what they would make it look like. I don't think they would ever do something like this ever, because I don't think that they ever actually intend to show us what Mimikyu under the cloth looks like. I think they forever want it to be left alone as one of Pokemon's great mysteries of what does Mimikyu actually look like. We know it's terrifying, we know it's scary as all hell, but we will never know specifically what it looks like. But I just envision for this Mega, that's the perfect thing to do with it. I would even say I would change its typing from Ghost Fairy to Ghost Dark, given the fact that it doesn't want that love anymore and instead was corrupted by hate. The idea is there, the concept is there, it's just the design would be so good, but Pokemon, they'd never touch it. I mean, Mimikyu is just adorable. We all love Mimikyu, and we're kind of just gonna leave it at that. For our Generation 8 rep on this list, I have a Pokemon that, once again, I feel like is not something that a lot of people think about, and has a very widely spread love for its pre-evolution, and that Pokemon is Frostmoth. Everybody loves Snom, okay? The little butt-faced bug, we all love Snom. Snom is adorable. Let's get that out of the way, okay? Snom is one of the cutest things I've ever seen in my life, and if I could own a Snom, I absolutely freaking would. We're talking about Frostmoth here. Frostmoth, I feel like, has a lot of potential for a Mega, and I could see it being something along the lines of a Gigantamax Butterfree. I think maybe the slimming of its main body, maybe taking some of this bulky centerpiece that it has and making it a little thinner, and then making these giant, I'm talking huge, like Aurora Borealis wings on the back, everything translucent and see-through and iridescent, and I imagine all this diamond dust around the body, maybe having like bigger eyes, more shining and shimmering and splendid. I would absolutely keep the Ice Bug typing. It's a very interesting typing, and as not good as it sounds, I think it is perfectly fitting for this Pokemon, especially in its Mega form. Plus, Frostmoth already has an amazing ability with Ice Scales, and so if you take it with this amazing ability ability and just kind of give it better stats than it already has. Girl, now we're talking. Frostmoth is a threat. I just remember in the DLC for the Crown Tundra for Sword and Shield, going through the woods and seeing a bunch of Frostmoth always around, kind of floating, and they just look so graceful and nice to me, and I don't know, I would really love to see what a larger one would look like. And for our final mega of today's video, it is of course a Generation 9 Pokemon, which we surprisingly got a lot of megas for. I was not expecting that whatsoever. I just really figured that Gen 9 was too recent and we weren't gonna touch it, but I guess I was very, very mistaken because we got several Gen 9 Mega Evolutions and some of them were pretty cool. But the Pokemon that I specifically would have liked to have seen was Mega Lowkicks. Lowkicks is the Pokemon that I feel like its Mega Evolution could have a lot of similar themes to Mega Ledian. Obviously the superhero vibes, obviously the common rider vibes, obviously we're going with the fact that its saws that it stands on top of, those gigantic legs, we're having those all the time. It would be on those at all times in its mega form, so it would be huge. I'm talking like tall. It would be a very tall bug, something that I would not want to ever see in real life, or else I'm running for the hills, bitch. Also might be cool for a Mega Lowkicks is maybe adding some of the saw design from its legs onto its arms, and then having kind of like this dangerous kind of superhero vibe or supervillain vibe. Who knows? Maybe Mega Lowkicks could be the supervillain to Mega Ledian superhero. I don't know. We could just create a little relationship between those two Pokemon that have nothing to do with each other. I don't know. It'd be really cool to see. I can already see the comic for it now. Mega Ledian versus Mega Lowkicks. Marvel, let's get on this. Okay, let's sign the paper. I will own 61% of that comic. But there you have it. There are 15 Pokemon that I believe could have and maybe should have gotten Mega Evolutions in Pokemon Legends ZA. I know we got a ton of new Mega Evolutions in Legends ZA, a lot of which are now some of my new favorite Megas that we have ever gotten, and I just think that maybe we could have gotten a couple more for some of these other Pokemon that could have deserved it and really need some help in their design or kind of love and appreciation. It just would have been really cool, and I don't know, I shudder at the fact that this might be the last time that we get new Megas. I really hope that we're not done with them. I really hope that we get more later on down the line. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I know that I just would love to see more. As always, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any ideas for a Mega Pokemon you think that you would have liked to have seen in Pokemon Legends ZA, let me know down in the comment section below, and also let me know if you agree or like any of my ideas for any of these Mega Pokemon that I mentioned in today's video. I would also just love to shout out to all of the Pokemon artists out there of the world who make art of these Mega Evolutions. I was doing a lot of research for this video and thinking of what I would love to see for these Megas, and I drew a lot of inspiration from a lot of things I saw across the internet, so this is just a general shout out to all of y'all. I could never do what y'all do. I am so incredibly impressed by people who can draw and do art, and I think that it is so amazing. Definitely check out all of the artwork for anybody who is doing anything Pokemon related on the internet, because girl, it's really fun to see. Thanks for Mega Evolving with me today. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, girl. I'm still going. I'm still leaving. Bye.